I was really lucky. I grew up in and around the sea. Because you were so into it and you were so passionate about it, kind of like a bonding thing, we've always really enjoyed both snorkeling. It's just something that, you know, it's so unique and special to us, and it's incredible that we both share that passion.
Every time I do it, and just before I go in the water, I still get that same buzz, that excitement. It's just the unknown. You know, today, who knows what you might see.
Once you put your snorkel mask on, you go underwater, there's nowhere else that you'd want to be. People don't realise how special our waters are and what's in it.
All this diversity within a short distance of our coastlines. You know, even humble seaweed, that's just beautiful in its own right. When the tide's in and it's moving, I think a lot of us take it for granted.
We go in all year round to try and get in as much as possible.
This time of year now, early sort of spring, coming into summer now, we are seeing the local residents. We see the spider crabs, spiny starfish. But that's what's so beautiful about it. That's like now, but probably in a month's time, we'll start seeing the influx of summer visitors.
April, May time, isn't it? The jellyfish start to come in for the season.
Yeah.
Get the blue jellyfish, the compass jellyfish, crystal jellies.
They're so exciting. They're full of colour.
I love seeing them.
Because we do snorkel quite regular now, I think we're a pretty good indicator, especially on our own patch, of what species there are at different times of years. For the last 2 years, we've seen some incredible sights. I'm not sure this is a good thing, but we've seen some very unusual stuff. Is that because of our warming waters? I just don't know. This one particular day in August, we actually drifted into a whole bloom of mauve stingers, which is more of a warmer water species, actually, and literally hundreds, if not thousands, around us.
All around us, yeah.
I love seeing the variety of our shores, but underlying that, there is this sort of slight worry, you know, should we be seeing these tropical species in our water?
It's just so unusual to see something like that. Kind of makes you question, you know, what's changed in the last few years for this to start happening.
Then we're on this one special August evening. Heather and I came down to this spot.
And then we went into the sea, and straight away, as soon as you put your head under the water, you're just surrounded by these big kind of chains of salps. It's a multicellular animal.
I think they're one of the quickest growing organisms in the world, I think, the way they multiply.
They are quite rare as well for our waters, but in the last 2 years, that's when they've kind of been thriving.
Yeah.
And I think the conditions were perfect that day for the bloom to happen.
I've been connected with the sea sort of 40-odd years, really, and you know, I've never seen anything like that. How do you describe it?
It looks like fairy lights, they do, because it was, you know, just before it got dark.
Stars of the galaxy, I like it too.
Yeah, just before it got dark.
For me as a father, for my daughter to be sort of travelling through that wonderful, natural spectacle, wow, that's something that's going to live with me throughout my life.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, you may think that those creatures have simply embraced the importance of being idle, drifting around in the sea as food for jellyfish, turtles, fish species, but they are exquisitely beautiful, and they are fascinating too.
They really are, aren't they? I mean, that, as I said, that is a jewel, a real jewel in the treasure box. But what is it? It looks like a jellyfish, but it's actually more closely related to a sea squirt. Now, here's a weird thing. They're actually more closely related to us than a jellyfish. I find that a little bit strange. They are extraordinary creatures. Let's have a look at it. It's like a gelatinous barrel shape. And what it does is it's full of cellulose and circular muscles, and it uses those circular muscles to take in water from the front end, and that goes through the body, squirts out the back, and that propels it to go through the water. And while it's doing that movement, it also filters the water, and then it will feed on the phytoplankton and the algae. And in the right conditions, when there's those huge blooms of phytoplankton, then it will grow at an incredible rate. It can mature in 48 hours, and it can grow 10% an hour, which makes it the fastest growing single cellular animal in the world. Extraordinary. Can I just say that's not to scale, by the way? just thought I'd make that point obvious. That obvious point, yeah.
But they also have an extraordinary life cycle. We can demonstrate that here. So they start with this stage here, which is the asexual part of the life cycle. And what they do inside the body of the creature at this point, they start separating single cells, clones of this organism, into strings called stolon. And that's what you saw in that film there. Those long strings of material that were filling the water were the stolon, made up of clones of this asexual individual there.
Now, that is going to look like this. So this is a close-up of this. And all these are female, and they've got a single egg in them. Now, those will have to be mated by a male. And then this is the female down here. Again, we've enlarged it. And inside... Oh, where does the male come from, first of all? I should say that. But we're going to get onto that because we're not interested in the male right now. But, OK, so it's been mated by the male. It's been fertilised. The eggs have been fertilised. That's the egg growing inside the female. And eventually it will give birth. And then this little embryo will turn into an asexual single one of these.
Yeah, so OK, yeah, and so then, so where's the male? That's
where's
the key
the male?
thing.
That's the key
These
thing.
eggs have still got to be fertilised, OK? Well, the thing is that after this one has produced that asexual stage to start the whole thing over again, it changes its sex. Yes, let there be love. And it's this that goes off to fertilise, not obviously this stolon, because that's where it's come from, but those other stolons that are in the water. What about that? So asexual stage clones itself into single cells which come out into those long threads running through the water. They're female with eggs which are fertilised by other females which have changed their sex afterwards. Got to hand it. Got to hand it to the salp.
That is the most extraordinary life cycle, isn't it? It's just mad, absolutely mad. And let's have a look at them because they are beautiful. And obviously, you know, this is a model of what they look like. And this is what David and Heather saw. Absolutely stunning. Unusual to see in our waters because you usually see them in warmer waters. But we are seeing them around our shores because our waters are getting warmer.
We started keeping records, decent records, in 1982, and I can tell you that the waters around the UK and Ireland at the moment are the hottest they've ever been. Off of the west coast of Ireland, the surface water temperature is 4 degrees over the average, and many parts of the UK are seeing water temperatures on the shores there of 1.5 to 2.5 degrees centigrade over that. And this will have profound impacts on our marine life, there is no doubt about that. So while species like the salp might prosper because there's a lot more plankton for them to feed on and they can sustain that, you know, prodigious growth rate, it may have a negative impact on lots of other species. This is climate breakdown in action, and we've just seen a real example of it.